Chris here from Videomaker. In lieu of having videos from the show floor at NAB, we met with the brands via video conferencing, and we taped those presentations so that you can know about the newest equipment and newest gear coming out right now. So that's what's in this video, and all of the other videos we shot are in a playlist. You'll be able to find them here in this card or in the description. Without further ado, let's get started.
So thanks for joining us, everyone. Wanted to run through some things for you with the new EOS R3. We just introduced the camera. It will be shipping hopefully in November, end of November 2021. That's the expected delivery date to customers. But let's run through some of the few specifications for you. So first and foremost, this is the professional model R series camera in the R lineup. It is the top level camera. We don't call it the flagship. The 1DX Mark III is still our flagship camera, but the R3 is by far the top of the R line. When you pick it up in your hands, the first thing you're going to notice that it is about a pound lighter than a 1DX Mark III if you're used to working with a camera like that. If you want to kind of coordinate that with the weight of, say, a 5D Mark IV, it would be similar to that with the battery grip. So it's not a real heavy unit. It's actually quite a bit lighter than what you're used to working with in a 1D series. When it comes to image quality, we did introduce a new 24 megapixel back illuminated stacked CMOS sensor. Now that's a mouthful. That's a lot of words for a totally new sensor. This is a 24 megapixel sensor. Designed and manufactured by Canon that allows for very, very fast readout and high speed capture. And what I mean by that is we're actually shooting at 30 frames per second in stills here at RAW, at 14-bit, and that's up to about 150 images when you're capturing RAW plus JPEG. And you're capturing to a CF Express and a UHS-2 SD card. Speed is the name of the game with the R3, realistically. The target market for this guy is mainly the sports and journalism type world that needs fast action, durability, low light, and speed of communications to get the images from camera to editor and then out into the wire. So to keep that image quality conversation going, even though this is a 24 megapixel sensor, we are looking at image quality that is higher than that of a 5D Mark IV, which, if you remember correctly, remember that sensor, that's a 30.4 megapixel sensor. So this 24 megapixel is outperforming a 30 megapixel, and the image quality is going to be extremely high with this output. Again, 30 frames per second. Again, that's going after that sports and action and journalist. The autofocus system to keep up with that has been greatly overhauled. Working with the new AF algorithms that adds not only people, eye, head, and body tracking and face recognition, it also tracks animals, birds, cats, dogs with eye, head, and body tracking as well. And we've added vehicle detection as a priority. Now, keep in mind when we talk about the priority side of things, that means we're telling the camera to prioritize whatever category we've told it to, whether it's vehicles, people, or animals. That's the priority of focus. If you're in a no priority mode whatsoever and you have a car come up to you, it's still going to focus on the car. Or you have a bird or a dog in front of you, it's still going to focus on the animal. It's just not going to have a priority setting for you. You can, again, determine which you want it to say is the most important piece. To keep up with this 30 frames a second, again, we've overhauled the AF system so that it is extremely fast. And there's more ways to acquire focus than you've ever had in a Canon camera. Right now, you have 3 or 4 different active AF buttons that you can activate and turn on. Your shutter button is typically what most people use, your back button, but you also now have different ways to move the AF points. And we've carried over the smart controller from the 1DX Mark III. That's that optical sensor that would be right at your thumb at the AF on button that allows you to direct where that AF point is very quickly. Now, to me, that's not quite the fastest way to move your AF points. Right now, the fastest way to move your AF points is with your eye. This is not the eye control system that you remember from 1998 and the EOS 3. This is a totally new eye control autofocus system where you look is where the camera focuses. Now, don't be concerned that you're going to look somewhere and focus, and then when you look somewhere else, it jumps to something else. It doesn't work that way. Where you look and lock on focus, it stays there until you release your focus, look somewhere else, lock on again, and you're able to just really quickly choose. If you've got 5 or 6 people, say a track meet, you've got lanes 1 through 5. You can go lane 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and just look where you go, and the camera will instantly move and acquire focus for you. Another thing they need to have is a durable body. This camera body is built to be the same as a 1DX level dust and weather resistance. You're going to feel that the camera it works very similar in the button layout, as well as the battery. This is LP19 battery, so it's the same battery that you're working with in a 1DX Mark III to carry that extended shooting times. Oftentimes, as a journalist or even a wedding photographer, you're working for hours and hours on end. You don't have a whole lot of time to swap batteries, so the LP19 battery goes for a long time for you. Video-wise, this is a very capable video camera as well. Now, our journalists out there, even our wedding photographers, our pros, and of course, to the level of the consumers and advanced amateurs, video is, as we always say, getting bigger and bigger and bigger. We're seeing it creep up more. Video in this camera is extremely capable. It is a 6K RAW, 60p capable camera. You've also got 4K 60p, DCI, and UHD. That DCI is a 6K oversampled. The UHD is a 5.6K oversampled image. So you've got a lot of different options here for different files and sizes and formats. You've also got a 4K 120. Now that 4K 120 is not an oversampled read, but everything else in 4K is an oversampled readout. You've got built-in microphone, headphone jacks, and one new thing that's been improved with this camera is a new hot shoe design. Now, this is a multi-function shoe. This is a digital shoe that allows us to add accessories such as a digital microphone, the new DME1D, which is a digital microphone, no cables needed, no batteries needed. You slide it in the hot shoe and you control all your levels right from the camera body itself. There's no menu even on the microphone. It's just a power switch on and off. So a lot of different features here with the EOS R3. A couple of things on the body, so I'm bouncing around a little bit, but you do have a 3.2-inch swivel LCD screen, which is a little different than what you're used to seeing on a professional camera. You know, in the 1 series, you would never see that swivel screen, but in the R3, we definitely have that swivel screen. When it comes to the speed of networking, even in the video side of things, you're able to transmit files after you record those files to the CF Express card or SD card. You have a built-in 2.4 or 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi, as well as a gigabit Ethernet connection. So you can do those wired connections and remote capture and tethered operations.
All right, so here's the end page. You now have 2 choices. You can either have the video that YouTube has chosen for you or the video that we have chosen for you. Hopefully either one of them is good, but you never know. They could change your life or not. Thanks for watching. Bye.